My entitled sister and her lazy husband tried to kick me out of the master bedroom of the house I bought. And the worst part, my own parents backed them up and threatened me. So I didn't argue. I just called the cops and evicted my entire family. Listen to how it all went down, and let me know in the comments if I was in the wrong. I'm 26 and a successful tech startup. I comfortably make around $150,000 a year. Since I work from home full-time, I bought a gorgeous 4-bedroom house with my own money last year. My parents always wanted to live in a bigger house, but their financial situation wasn't great. Being a good son, I moved them into my new place. I paid the mortgage, the utility bills, and even covered all the groceries. I kept the master bedroom, turned one room into my home office, and the other 2 rooms went to my parents. Life was absolutely perfect. Until my older sister, Sarah, and her husband, Mark, entered the picture. Sarah is 29 and has always been my parents' golden child. She married a guy named Mark who has been pretending to look for a job for the last 3 years. Last month, without even asking me, my mom invited them to live in our house because they got evicted from their rented apartment. My mom emotionally blackmailed me, saying, "Honey, family helps family. They'll just stay in the guest room for a few weeks until they find a new place." I figured, fine, it's just for a few weeks. But the moment I saw their massive pile of luggage, I knew they had no intention of leaving. As soon as they moved in, they started acting like my house was an all-inclusive resort. One day, I was in a meeting in my home office when I heard noises coming from the master bedroom. I walked over and saw Sarah and Mark sitting on my bed, packing my expensive belongings into cardboard boxes. I yelled, "What the hell is going on here?" Sarah shamelessly smirked and said, "We're taking the master bedroom. I'm pregnant and I need more space. You're single anyway, just move into the smaller guest room." I snatched the box out of her hands and said, "This is my house. My name is on the deed, and you were getting out of this room right now." Just then, my mom rushed in and started screaming at me. She called me a selfish brat and said it was a sin not to give the biggest turn to a pregnant woman. It didn't end there. That night at the dinner table, my mom had made an amazing meal. Just as I reached forward to grab a plate, my mom pulled it away. She glared at me coldly and said, "No dinner for you. You don't get to eat the food in this house until you hand over the master bedroom keys to your sister. You need to learn how to respect your family." I looked over at my dad, but he just kept his head down and silently chewed his food. They all thought I would cave to the hunger and the pressure, but they forgot one tiny detail. The food, the groceries, and the very dining table they were sitting at. I paid for all of it. I didn't say a single word. I turned around, went to my home office, printed out some legal documents, and slammed them onto the dining table. They were eviction notices. I handed my parents a formal 30-day legal notice to vacate the property. Then I turned to Sarah and Mark, who weren't even on the lease, and said, "You have exactly 30 minutes to pack your trash, or the next car pulling up will be the police charging you with trespassing." Sarah started laughing, thinking I was bluffing. So, I pulled out my phone and called the cops right in front of them. 20 minutes later, 2 officers were at my door. Sarah and Mark had to pack their bags into their car while crying and begging. My mom's face drained of color. She started sobbing and offered me a plate of food, but I just looked at her and said, it was never about the food. Today, my parents are also packing their bags because they finally realized they can't afford this lifestyle without my income. My relatives are blowing up my phone, calling me heartless for doing this to my own family. But honestly, I don't have a single regret. So you tell me, for protecting my self-respect and the house I bought with my own hard work, am I the jerk? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget